Moines Register Political Soapbox. I'm politics editor Rachel Stassenberger. And up next we have Joe Grandanette. He's an independent who's running for the 3rd Congressional District. Also in that race was our earlier speaker today, who is still out here, Brian Jack Holder. He's a libertarian. The Republican in the race and the incumbent is David Young, and Sidney Axne, the Democrat in that race, was up on the soapbox earlier this week. And now it's you.
Thank you, thank you. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Just come on in and listen. Nice to meet everybody at the great Iowa State Fair. My name is Joe Grandanette. I'm running for U.S. Congress as an independent, nonpartisan candidate. Don't be bashful. Step right up here. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I am married to my wife, Ting. I have a daughter, Rosina, who's here. She's 5 years old. She'll start kindergarten this fall. I'm a graduate of Drake University and Grandview Junior College. I was a physical education teacher for 27 years at Windsor Elementary. I was a coach at East High School. I coached at Urbandale High School. I had a business for 14 years, Say Hello to Joe's, a sports nutrition store that I closed down 4 years ago.
Was Ada Coy,
Here we go.
Leave your party at the public safety building or make contact with the nearest police officer. Ada Coy, meet your party at the public safety building or make contact with the nearest police officer.
I am an independent, nonpartisan candidate. During my speech here, I'm going to expose Sidney Axne and David Young, both liberal candidates. Iowa is not liberal. Joe Grandanette is not liberal. This is why I will win. I'm the conservative in the candidate. Step right up, folks. Listen to the speech. This is what I stand for, ladies and gentlemen. I support and stand shoulder to shoulder with our president, Donald Trump. Joe Grandanette, shoulder to shoulder with our president, Donald Trump. I am pro-life to natural death. No to euthanasia, ladies and gentlemen. When someone gets old, we don't just kill them off. I want to build a wall, ladies and gentlemen. No amnesty. David Young doesn't want to build a wall. Sidney Axne does not want to build a wall. If the Pope can have a wall, then surely the United States of America can have a wall. I say no to sanctuary cities and federal funding. Do you know in Iowa we have 13 sanctuary counties? Why is that? Why is that? I'm looking for fair trade for the farmers. I support the loan of $12 billion. David Young does not support the loan of $12 billion. No federal funding for Planned Parenthood. Abortion clinics. They can have Planned Parenthood, but they can't be doing abortions for using federal money. Why is that happening, ladies and gentlemen? I am pro-Second Amendment and the right to bear arms. What we need to do in this country is hook up the people in the gun business with the doctors that have mental patients, and we got to make sure that they don't get the arms and then go out and shoot and kill people. Some way, somehow, we got to be able to do this. I am pro-business, reduce regulation and taxes, and we need to repatriate our money offshore and get these businesses to come back to the United States, pay us a fee so that we can put people to work, because this is where they went when they had NAFTA. This is where they went when they had deals with Canada, they all went offshore. And Donald Trump is starting all over with these countries, and that's what we need. I support the military. I support the police, and I support ICE to keeping illegals that are problems in our country with the law. They might even be felons. We have people getting killed by people that aren't American citizens, and this all needs to stop. We need to fix our healthcare system. We need to have more people. We have to have more insurance companies get back in the healthcare business so that there's competition, and competition will bring down premiums. Competition will bring down deductibles. We need to go across state lines. We need to get people that are poor not going to the emergency room. They got to go to the clinics and give it back to the states. Iowa knows what's best for the health care for the states. I say no to $15 per hour. Working at McDonald's, dipping cones at Dairy Queen is a level entry position, and it's not worth $15 per hour. And it was never meant, those jobs were never meant to be for a living wage. I'm for capitalism and not socialism. Sydney Axney, she's a Democrat. She must be for socialism because that's what her party stands for. I'm pro-First Amendment, freedom of press, and freedom of religion. If you're a baker and you own a company and someone comes up to you and says you want to bake a cake and they're a gay couple, you should have the right not to do that. We need legal immigration, ladies and gentlemen. We need to e-verify. We need to find out where all these people that overstayed their stay here in the United States, either through their work or vacation. There's more people staying here in this country that we don't know where they're at. We got to find them. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm married to a Chinese woman, and I spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to bring my wife here legally. So everybody else should bring them legally. I stand for the national anthem. I stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I support Adair County. I support Madison County in fighting against the wind turbines that are destroying the way of life in those two counties. They want to put 275 more in Adair County where they kill the birds, thousands and thousands. The lines flicker. There's a noise, the way of life. This shouldn't be forced down their throat, ladies and gentlemen. They're pitting neighbor against neighbor, the wind turbines. There's other ways we have coal plants in this state that have become clean. We have one nuclear plant in this state. We can utilize that, but we don't need to put wind turbines where people don't want them. Ladies and gentlemen, we also need term limits. Have you ever seen a congressman or a senator bring it up to a vote? No. Why not? Why not? No one should spend their whole life in Washington, D.C. No one should be there that long. Put it to a vote. If it's good enough for the presidency, it's good enough for a congressman or a senator. Make it 4 years and get reelected, or 6 years for the senators. Do something, but no one should spend their entire life in Washington, D.C. as a congressman or a senator. Now, I'm going to talk to you about Cindy Axney. Cindy Axney She touts the fact that she worked up with Chet Culver in for the governor. Chet Culver, when he was there for 4 years, was known as Tax and Spend Chet. He took our state into bankruptcy almost. And Terry Branstad had to come in and clean it up. And Sidney Axtee was there shoulder to shoulder with Chet Culver. Also, Sidney Axtee says she's a Catholic. I'm a Catholic. I'm pro-life. Well, what is she? She must be pro-choice because she's a Democrat. The Democrats, that's what they do. This is part of their platform. So she must be pro-choice, and she wants to kill babies at 6 months, 7 months, 8 months. This isn't Nazi Germany, ladies and gentlemen. This is America. We can do better than that. We can do better than that. Now let's talk about David Young. David Young's been in office for 3 years. When David Young first got in on a whim, he got Brad Zahn should have been the congressman, but when Matt Schultz threw all his votes to David Young, when we had the meeting in the summer, then David Young ended up being our congressman. That was a dirty deal done inside the back room. David Young's first vote was for John Boehner. I thought he wasn't going to drink the Potomac water. John Boehner was the worst Speaker of the House. The worst Speaker of the House. And that was his second vote. First vote. His second vote was he voted for Planned Parenthood to fund the program that have abortion clinics. I thought he was pro-life. Why did he vote that way? Something's wrong with him. If David Young thinks this way, he should become a Democrat. David Young has been slamming our president. He slammed our president, and here's what he says. On the $12 billion bill, first I'll say what Rod Blum said. Thank you for having special political courage to renegotiate these trade deals, which quite frankly are not good in the United States, he said to Trump, and you've taken some heat for it in the short term, but in the long run, the farmers, the manufacturers, the employees are all going to be better off. That's Rod Blum. That's a statesman. David Young says this about the $12 billion loan. What this really is, though, is the administration, the president, admitting that his trade policies are hurting Iowa farmers and producers, and all across the heartland for that matter. Young in an interview with WHO TV. Farmers want markets, they want trade, and not necessarily this aid. Well, David, here's what you missed. Donald Trump has cut up the contracts with Canada, cut up NAFTA, cut up TPP, and all the rest of the countries that we've had bad contracts with. Rod Blum, he was a statesman. David Young is a sellout. David Young touts that he's a conservative Republican. He's not. Ladies and gentlemen, right here, Conservative Review, David Young, F rating, 49%. That's not very conservative. I thought he was a conservative. He makes decisions on behalf of the liberal people, not the conservative Republicans. Also, 5 minutes left. This spring, H.R. 616 Border Security and Immigration Reform Act. Rod Blum voted against it. Steve King voted against it. David Young, he voted for it. It's a watered-down version, no funding for the wall, and his answer was, when he was asked, well, it's better to just vote for a bill than not vote for a bill. That's the problem with Washington, D.C. We have so many bad bills. Brian, I'll vote for your bill if you vote for my bill. It doesn't work, ladies and gentlemen. That's how we got trillions and trillions of dollars in debt, ladies and gentlemen. So, I want, in closing, I am the Rocky Balboa of this race, ladies and gentlemen.
Attention on the ground.
I'm a tough out. I'm the underdog in the candidate. Remember Abraham Lincoln, he lost 8 times, and he happened to be a pretty good candidate. I will always be your voice. I will always tell the truth. I won't let you down. You have my word. I want you to tell everybody out there, get a hold of all the media, all the TV stations, all the radio stations so that I can get interviewed. Call the Des Moines Register so I can get interviewed, and so that I can be in the debates just like Cindy and David and Brian and myself. We're on the ballot. We should all be in the debate. How much time do I have left? 4 minutes left. I'm going to tell you a cute story. I think you'll like it. I'm getting signatures up in Altoona in the parade, and I go to a couple of women. I said, would you like to sign my nomination papers? I'm Joe Grandanette. I'm running for U.S. Congress. And she said, no, thank you. The gal right next to her said, I said, would you like to? No, thank you. So a lady over, about 3 chairs over, she said, Mr. G, the greatest PE teacher in the world. And everybody laughed. Give me those papers, Mr. G, I'll sign them for you. So I gave her the papers. I got them back. I went to the gals. I said, remember, I'm the greatest PE teacher in the world. Will you sign this? She didn't sign. The next gal, you want to sign it? I'm the greatest PE teacher in the world. No. I figure now that I look back, one was for Young and one was for Axtee. So, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Joe Grandanette. My phone is a digit away. I will be there for you. You contact me for any reason, I will answer my phone, I will ask the question, I will tell the truth. And if I don't know the answer, I won't make it up like people do. I want to thank all the people that are here, the people that listened and to my speech. It's not easy getting up here. Hopefully my gravelly voice, which I've had for about 20 years, because of all the teaching in a loud gym, you can understand what I was saying. Thank you very much. Go to my website, go to my Facebook page, and you can see everything that I'm all about. Thank you very much. It's great to be at the Iowa State Fair. Thank you.